Hello there, good afternoon, and welcome to Midday Discourse on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital. I am Samuel Odi. So today we'll be looking at technological impact on Nigerian economy. According to recent gross domestic products reports by the National Bureau of Statistics, the information and communication technology sector contributed 18.44% to Nigeria's GDP in the second quarter of 2022. Activities in information and communication technology contributed 15.97% to Nigeria's real gross domestic product in the third quarter of 2023. That's a decline. The National Bureau of Statistics disclosed this in the third quarter GDP statistics released on Friday. This shows an increase in contribution where compared to the 15.35% recorded in the same period last year. However, when compared with the figure recorded in the preceding quarter of 22nd quarter of 2023, the sector contributed less in the third quarter. The NBS data showed that ICT contributed 19.54% to the real GDP in the second quarter, which made the third quarter figure decline. According to NBS, the ICT sector comprises the four activities of telecommunication and information service, publishing, motion pictures, sound recording, and music production, as well as broadcasting. One of the most notable effects of technology on society is transformation of communication. The internet and smartphone have revolutionized our communication. Social media platforms have emerged as powerful tools enabling people to share ideas, opinion, experience instantaneously across the globe. So very soon we'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, I'll be introducing my guests who will help us dive in deep into unveiling how technology can impact our society. Please do not go anywhere. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global Television. My name is Samuel Odi. So today we'll be looking at the technological impact on Nigerian economy. And I'll be introducing my guests at this time. Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Lights Ulozuru, the CEO of Lognetics. Hello, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's good to have you, Mr. Light. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah. So let's just go straight in. Technology contributed 15.97% to Nigeria's real GDP, that is gross domestic product, in the quarter of 2023, which was a decline from 18.44%, which we had in 2022. Please, can you throw more light on why, we had a decline in that sector? Because technology is meant to be something, hopefully, that we think that can help, boost economy. But it's looking like we had an increase in 2022, and now we're having a decline in 2023. Can you throw a little light on like what might have been the challenge why the decline happened?
Okay, thank you very much. I can't exactly give all detailed information as regards the decline in maybe the rating system of technology in Nigeria or maybe Africa, but for the past few years, we can actually see that Nigeria, or let's say Africa, is defined as a developing continent. That's Africa is defined as a developing continent. That's to say that there are a couple of things that have actually been well structurally implemented in the well-developed nations of the world that's still a bit struggling in Nigeria and also in Africa as a whole. And one of those sectors is actually the technological sector in Nigeria. Now look at the rate at which technology has been able to impact different walks of life, including the finance sector, agriculture, health, and a lot of other sectors in Africa, specifically Nigeria as well. We can actually see that there's a level of positive growth to that sector. But then I think as of last year, there's a lot of startups that literally folded up. And you know that most of the tech startups have actually been part of the strongest reason why technology has taken a very solid shape in Nigeria for the past period of time. But I think as of last year, a couple of startups actually folded up. Even before then, let's say back within the last period of time, a lot of startups actually folded up. But then 2023 actually experienced more startup folding up, and part of the reasons why most of these startups actually stopped operations is majorly because of access to resources and also limited access to funding most times to push up their ideas, and some other times as well is as a result of system faults. That's for their softwares. A lot of people had a series of complaints. Let's look at a popular cryptocurrency brand that literally had to stop operations and they were dragged consistently online. Now, technology has taken like a very solid shape in Nigeria with the trends that a lot of companies that are revolving around the robotics space, the artificial intelligence space, and so many other spaces, including the software and branding space. They've given so much attention into growing effectively in Nigeria. But then, for organizations to thrive over a long period of time, they require some level of effort that is placed within them. And I think that effort was not really put into solid effects in Nigeria for last year. But then, of course, we can see what the government has actually been doing with the help of the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, where they were able to help a couple of organizations with grants to speed up their research processes and also aid with coming up with, or maybe aid with conceptualization of ideas. You could actually see that there was a very good success story out of them. But then you never can tell. There are just a lot that needs to be done in the Nigerian tech startups and also in the Nigerian technological space. And I think partially that's part of the reasons why technology didn't really get the excellent results that you needed in Nigeria. But then I would actually say that Nigerian technological space is really trying. They are really trying.
Okay. How can startups, what are the basic, supports that they need to not start and then have, a bridge and then just folding up? Like you said, a few startups kind of, folded up after they just started, not having a lot of impact in the technological industry. So what are those factors that can make someone get into the technology industry and then get out of it like in a snap of a finger? What are those challenges?
Okay, for me, I would not necessarily say that startups are supposed to be centered around the funding aspects. I wouldn't necessarily say that. But then one of the few things that we've realized, I've been in the funding space. I've also been in the, of course, trying to help organizations grow with our tech events, which is called Explore, where we literally have to interact with a lot of companies. And from most of these interactions that we've actually done with a couple of organizations, we came to realize that beyond just the enthusiasm that most of these organizations have, I feel like that consistent approach is usually not there, and access. Most of these startups, they need access. And the fastest way they could actually get access from any space or anywhere is through direct collaborations or maybe interactions with the government. I strongly believe that the government should, obviously they are trying, the government is really trying in the tech startup space in Nigeria currently, but I feel like there should be more intentional effort that is placed within the private sector and also the government ministries to see how they can actually help most of these startups that are going through tough times. I have a couple of friends, that started off very beautiful and amazing businesses. You need to see the kind of idea that they came up with. So many amazing ideas, but then the process of execution is part of the major reasons why most of these startups even fold up along the line. Execution is one thing, and then strategy is another thing, and the process of coming up with those unique ideas is another thing. So there's the idea stage, the strategy, and also the execution stage. Now, to implement most of these ideas, there are a couple of things that needs to be done. Let's give an instance. Some brands outside the nations of the world that are currently doing robotics. You see on the news that X brand or this brand raised maybe $5 billion US, or maybe I'm just giving an exaggerated amount. Yeah, it could be true, X amount of money, and they raised X amount of money to further their research process or maybe to help execute some of these ideas. But in Nigeria, it's not so rampant, but there are a lot of really amazing startups out there that are doing so well in the Nigerian tech space. And the only way they can actually put in more attention into scaling is by being intentional, and proceed with the concept of consistency. If they're able to push more effort into consistently achieving their goals and not just only starting because of the money or the profit that comes with getting involved in the tech community, I strongly feel like they're going to really get the kind of attention and the global reach that they are possibly envisioning. That's basically my take. So beyond just the fact that there are a couple of limitations for tech ideas to grow in Africa, I still strongly believe that most of the most powerful organizations in the world did not really get it all right from inception. So there's that push, there's this consistent drive. Most of them span through a period of 10 years, 15 years, and nobody even knew about them. And all of a sudden, boom, the innovative ideas definitely spoke for them. So I strongly believe that tech founders, beyond just the fact that they want to get into tech for the results that comes with it, that's the capital results that comes with it, I still feel like that intentional drive to solving real-time problems should also still be at the center of their attention for most of the execution that they are possibly going to be coming up with.
It's technology and Instagram to Nigerian society.
If technology is what?
And Instagram, like, is it a force that it's going to help boost Nigerian economy?
Of course. We can see what technology has been able to do in a lot of countries, beyond just the comparison with developed nations of the world and what technology has been able to do for them. I strongly believe that if technology is given the right kind of attention in Nigeria, trust me, there's going to be a lot of things that will be revolutionized, right? What I mean by revolutionized, I'm coming from the perspective of technology being a backbone of excellence, that driving force for innovative ideas, that driving force for innovative solutions and also implementation of the most groundbreaking concepts and strategies out there. So technology has been able to shape a lot of countries, like let's use Dubai as an instance. Dubai was once known as the desert or so, Dubai basically embraced the power of technology, and right now Dubai is literally somewhere that almost everybody wants to visit because of their technological processes. I think from a research that I made a couple of months back, I realized that Dubai is one of the cities, or literally one of the most powerful cities in the world that has an application for everything. It basically simplifies processes for them. Even the United States, the last time I had to interact with a couple of people outside Nigeria, most of the time when I invite some of my colleagues that are outside Nigeria, they come to Nigeria, they're like, oh, Nigeria is a fertile ground. I feel like this can be done, this, that. You get what I basically mean by that. So I strongly believe that technology can shape Nigeria, can shape Africa as a whole, and can shape the global world. Now look at the trends in robotics. Everybody's thinking that robotics is going to stop a lot of processes from getting the light of the day. The trends in artificial intelligence, a lot of people are very scared. They're like, no, let's stop the trends in AI because we're losing their jobs. But the honest truth is that artificial intelligence has been able to simplify processes. Even in election right now, imagine our electoral process was completely digitalized. There are some manipulations that possibly might have been done in the past that will never be done again. So technology has like a stronger effect, across different sectors of Nigerian economy. And I strongly feel like if technology is positioned effectively, right, or maybe if technology is given the right kind of attention in Nigeria, trust me, there are a lot of things that will basically be better. And imagine different walks of life being simplified. So it basically means that life will be better. People will have more access to jobs. There'll be openings of job opportunities. There'll be access to more structured environments. There'll be better systems and operational strategies that organizations can actually use. Now look at what's the kind of applications right now that are out there. Okay, let's even use one of the trending sectors in Nigeria that a lot of tech young startups have actually been able to put so much attention into, which is the fintech space. Previously, the process of making transactions between Nigeria and other developed nations of the world was really difficult. Right now, I can call a friend in the United States or maybe in the UK to request for X amount of money, and they're possibly going to send it to me in less than a few minutes. And that's technology. But previously, it was difficult. Look at what technology has been able to do in the automobile industry and in so many other industries. So I strongly believe that technology is the future, technology is the now, and technology is everything that we need right now to be able to get the right structural system and strategy as a nation.
So let's bring it back locally now to agriculture. How can technology, most of our local farmers are basically, not really educated, those in the rural communities and all. So how can technology now impact and then help them? Because most of these farmers are waiting on rain, grown agriculture. So now, is there a way that technology and agriculture can work together, that we don't have to always wait for, the rainy season and then suffer food crisis in the nation? Currently now, there's a lot of hunger in the land. So is there any way that technology and agriculture can work together, so during rainy season and off season, dry season, we can be able to still have food? Is there any way technology can, do something, in regards to that?
Okay, yes. So having few conversation, I think it was last year, towards the end of last year, I was having an interaction with a friend of mine who is actually doing very, very well in the agricultural space. And I was telling him that he should implement technology into what he was doing, I was just like maybe having like a brief conversation because my company, Lognetics, what we basically do is we implement artificial intelligence into software and branding, So while I was communicating with him, I was telling him that let's work on an online platform for you. Let's simplify processes for you. Let's do this. And he was like, Light, forget that thing. Technology is doing so well, but it cannot saturate the agricultural space. But then I think as of last month, he reached out to me and he was like that he needed a website, he needed visibility for his produce, and he was importing some tractors that was going to simplify operations for him. Now, sounds quite interesting,
Yes.
Now, technology is going to become very, very effective in literally every single industry. And that's the truth. We can't shy away from it. Technology is going to literally become so powerful that every single we're even seeing it right now. There's literally no industry right now that does not have like a link with technology. That's the honest truth. Previously, people were having the narrative that even if technology is going to become very rampant in all industries, agricultural industry was going to be a common exemption. But right now, the agricultural drones, they are drones that basically survey a farm and give you the right amount of produce that farm can possibly bring into life. And this is happening in other developed nations of the world. There are robotic, I won't necessarily call them robots, but of course, they are machineries that you can put in your farm, and they'll cultivate the soil for you, even faster than humans to even do that. Now, what technology is basically doing in agriculture currently is that it is simplifying processes for farmers, It is simplifying process. Oh, sorry, I think I have like a little bit of power outs.
It's okay.
This is what we're talking about technology in Africa.
Yes.
this is basically what we are talking about technology in Africa already, and we can already see it. Now, imagine
Yes.
technology, the restored power.
Mhm.
Sorry for the power
I-
outage here. Sorry
we
for that.
understand.
Okay, yes. So talking about technology, that's technology. There's some developed nations of the world that they will never take light, you know.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we are still growing in Africa, and I'm very confident of the future that we are building in the
Mm.
African community. And then talking about agriculture, I strongly believe that technology is going to become very rampant in the agricultural sector, and every single industry in um, in in the Nigerian ecosystem, you know, every single industry, down to healthcare. We can see what technology is doing already in healthcare.
Yes.
It's transforming lives, you know. I think there was a country, I've forgotten the name of the city, that a robot possibly performed an operation for a human, and
Wow.
it was almost as accurate as regular doctor's operations. That was like a
Mm.
test run. Now look at what Neuralinks is doing in implanting chips in people, you know, making them control. I think the first Neuralink patient was able to control a computer mouse with
Yes.
just his hands. You can imagine, I mean, with just his thoughts, with just his thoughts, he was able to control a computer mouse with just his thoughts. And these are things that technology is already doing. People might basically think that it's end of time. But the honest truth is that the powerful nature of technology has even yet not been seen. We've not seen it yet, you know. And just imagine the outcome of what the future holds for technology. Like our company right now, we're working on our own robotics system, and we're going to be launching it pretty soon, maybe before the wrap of this day. And it has been an excellent ride. Now, people will be wondering, why are you creating a different life when there are other humans? Let's leave that conversation for that day.
So, what job opportunities now? You know, you've mentioned aspects of, you know, agriculture, and just in Israel right now, Israel has something that's going on that is called green light farming, or green light farming, something of that nature, where technology had to, like, you know, they plant in a room and then it tends to grow maybe off rain season and all. So what job opportunities can technology provide for the youth of our beloved country?
Okay, awesome. Technology from the looking at it realistically, you realize that over a period of time, starting from last year or even through till this year, we've come to realize that a lot of young people, even after they are done with school and everything, they still fall back to the fact that they want to learn a tech skill. And there's something that tech skill has actually done for a lot of people. Tech skill has been able to simplify processes for people. And also from the comfort of your home, you can actually work on multiple projects, even as much as getting hired in developed nations of the world where you're paid in dollars, you know. Tech skill has been able to help a lot of young people in Africa. And beyond just tech skill, the trends in artificial intelligence that a lot of people feel like is going to take over their jobs and all of those things. AI has even created more job opportunities compared to the amount of jobs that it has possibly made people to lose. Let me give you an instance of that. Right now, even someone that is not so good with content can easily go to ChatGPT and then generate content by himself, you know. I remember when ChatGPT came out, I think I made part of the highest amount of money through content writing just by using ChatGPT, and that's an AI system, right? Now, beyond just that, there are a lot of text-to-speech recognition systems. There are a lot of systems out there online that are AI generated, you know, and it has been able to help a lot of people to gather up more capacity and also influence their decisions when it comes to building their strengths in let me give building their strengths in the space of providing value, right? When I mean value, because of course, before you can actually get money, you need to exchange value, you know.
Yes.
So technology has been able to do this even stronger than a lot of industries. Should we say, okay, let me give an industry that a lot of people are basically running after, I think previously before now in school. Let me think of one industry. Maybe someone that studies chemistry, or maybe someone that studies biology, you know, or maybe someone that studies computer. I'm just thinking of a skill, you know, that's a bit different from tech-based skills. Most of them right now, they are tech people. Most of them are currently doing project management. Most of
Project
them are
management,
building
yes.
most of them are building softwares for companies, and most of these things are tech-based skills. So technology has actually done a lot for people. Right now, the process of even learning most of these tech skills are even easier. It's simplified. Let's give an instance of graphic design. Photoshop, for example, that was a very, very difficult tool to learn previously. Photoshop has been able to integrate artificial intelligence into the system with just a single prompt. You can change an image overlay completely without you having to learn all the process of manipulating images and all of those things. So the process of even doing most of these things are even simple. You can use your phone and create a simple flyer, a simple graphics, even by just going to an online platform. There's just so much that you can actually do with technology. And this is something that I feel, and I'm very confident of, that if more young people become more intentional to learn most of these tech-based skills, trust me, there's going to be limited unemployment rates in the country, and technology is definitely still going to boost the rate at which there will be employment opportunities for a lot of people. So trust me, technology has done a lot. It has actually done a lot. But yeah, in the future, we can possibly see that most of the things right now that people are running after, people are dying for in the technological space, will possibly go out of extinction. And new tech skills will definitely come into view. It's just like, let me give an instance where we used to have, before the invention of regular telephones, where you literally have your phones out there, I mean, before now that everybody has access to their devices or their phone. Yeah, there was, I've forgotten the name of this thing that people usually do back then. I remember when I traveled back to my hometown some many years back, 20 years plus or so, my dad might possibly go to a phone book. I don't know if it's phone book that they call it then, to make calls.
With the landlines.
Just make calls, because they're just like a particular space where there's good network. And those guys are making a hell lot of money. But right now, most of those things are not happening anymore. There are other systems right now that are overtaking those places, right? And that system that basically came into life has been able to create more job opportunities for a lot of people. So technology, every single time there is a disruption, there's always access to new job opportunities. And that's the confidence that technology basically has as a very solid brag compared to certain other industries.
Okay. Last year your company had an event, Explore Lognetics. I can't really, one of the biggest tech events that happened in Abuja. So what is the plan for, and your company gifted $5,000 to upcoming tech, that is just startups like you mentioned. So what's the plan for the year? Is there any other stuff like that coming up?
Yeah, definitely. This year's event is supposed to be way better than last year's event, of course. We're able to support some startups, and currently we are trying to see how we can still put in more effort into building startups. And we also gave access to free skills scholarships, so about 500 plus Nigerians for free, totally free, without any cost added to it. And basically what we are doing, the reason why we did all of those things intentionally was to see how we can bring the gospel of technology to a lot of people, see how we can actually help a lot of Nigerians to scale up effectively. Now, for this startup aid, we're able to help startups beyond just the capital. I think just one startup was going back home with $5,000, and then we're able to bring in 2 more startups to support them with product building, and also support them with other things like idea launch and most of those things, just to see how they can definitely still proceed with their ideas without feeling intimidated and all. So we're able to do most of those things. We brought in industry experts last year, and they were able to impact knowledge in to a lot of young people, and it was quite an exciting adventure for our company. And this year, definitely, we are set to do something even way better than what happened last year. So preparations have been going on by the team and staff base of Lognetics, and we are very, very confident of the pool of resources that we're definitely going to be experiencing from this year's events. And yeah, I'm very confident of the future we're building, and I'm definitely confident of the future that Africa.
One more question before you go. So what do we expect from a technology-driven economy?
What we expect from
technology, what do we expect from our own economy? How does it, blossom our economy?
Okay, great. Just like I mentioned earlier, how technology has been able to be of great value to other nations of the world, and also our current space in Africa and also in Nigeria. I strongly believe that a country or a continent or a nation is driven solely by technology, not necessarily solely, that's just driven by technology, is definitely going to see a very solid result. I mentioned something about election. Imagine our electoral process was digitalized. Manipulations cannot go on with the electoral process, just like what we have seen in other developed nations of the world, like the United States. The processes, even for the election itself, there's already an online voting system. There are certain processes. There's so many things that will not be happening, like vandalization, or what do they call it? When people go to their polling unit to vote, all those harassment that happens, or maybe stealing of ballot. Where will all of those things happen? Of course, there's going to be other things like cyber crime, and people will definitely want to hack into the system and all. But of course, for every single time there's a technological evolution, there's definitely going to be a negative aspect of it. But of course, this is where strategies come in. For every single time that there are those negative effects that are posed on these technological systems, there's definitely going to be an anti system that will definitely help to resolve those effects that possibly comes with those negative impacts, right? Beyond just that as well, I also see a nation that is driven by technology to be a fast-rising nation. Let's give an instance of the educational space. Educational space. A lot of people in Africa or even in Nigeria right now, they're complaining about educational space in Nigeria being quite very boring, right? People are complaining consistently about the educational space in Africa, but in Nigeria specifically, quite boring. Because the last time I possibly checked on a process, I realized that the same processes and the same systems of operation that were implemented back then in school were almost still the same thing that most of these people have been taught. Why are we still banking on old technological systems when there's trends in robotics right now and artificial intelligence? Everybody right now literally sees artificial intelligence as the future and even the present. So I believe that there should be consistency in updating our curriculum. Now, developed nations of the world are not even using most of those outdated systems. What they are basically being taught right now are things that are currently in vogue. So now imagine if Nigeria basically embraces most of these systems. Trust me. There's going to be a lot that will basically be transformed in Africa using Nigeria as a case study. So of course, beyond just medication, there are a lot of other industries like maybe just give me one industry. Let me give an instance of how education technology has been. Security. No, exactly. Now look at I think there was this particular day I was getting into a building, a very solid building that they mentioned that was highly protected. Right. The only time the security just asked me for was just open my car boots. Beyond just the car boots, there are a lot of other places that there might be harmful objects that could be of negative impact to people. But then in other developed nations of the world, as powerful as most of those nations of the world could actually be, there are systems and protocols that are positioned in those strategic locations that you won't even know that there are devices that are basically capturing every single content in your vehicle to know how safe those contents could be. Human beings can do so much, but beyond just what humans can actually do, technology can even do even stronger. I think Elon Musk mentioned that was last month, late last month, where he mentioned that by 2019, artificial intelligence will be way smarter than every single human on Earth combined. And by 2025, which is next year, artificial intelligence will also be smarter than humans as well, And we can actually see it. I don't know if you've had interactions with ChatGPT. It's quite exciting when you interact with ChatGPT. You'll just be wondering, where in the world did you think of these ideas? That's what ChatGPT currently is. Doing way better than a lot of people, even in the content space. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to express. So technology has a lot to do in literally all industries, and those that embrace the power of technology right now will definitely see the positive effect and the results.
Okay, but is technology now going to take the space of humans in the world?
Interestingly, no. It will never come to a space where technology is going to take the place of humans. But of course, technology is going to simplify processes that humans found a bit more tedious back then, right? Technology is going to actually be simplifying most of those processes, and it might look as though humans are going to go out of extinction. But of course, humans who created these technological systems, and the reason why technological systems are created is just to simplify processes for people, right? So if humans are the reasons why most of these technological systems are brought into view, then it means that humans have a solid control over what they can actually do and how well they can actually do most of those things. But of course, maybe in the future, most of these robotic systems or maybe artificial intelligence systems could have a mind of their own. If you can actually interact with certain chat systems, maybe like Google Bird and Ask AI and the likes of them, including ChatGPT, and they can surf the internet and provide you almost with 100% accurate answers, or let's say 90% accurate answers. Imagine what could actually be if stronger algorithmic features are implemented into most of these systems. It means that they can make informed decisions themselves. But then, will they necessarily replace humans? No, they will not. The only people that possibly might be replaced are people that do not embrace the power of technology at this point. That's my honest opinion. I'm not being biased, but yeah.
Okay. So give us your last words. So I know you say you don't have so much time, but just give us your last words, and then so we could let you go off and then continue your business.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for the conversation. And I'm very, very confident of the future that Nigeria has. And also, I'm very confident of the young generation currently in Africa using Nigeria as a case study. And beyond just that, we are very, very committed as a company, Lognetics, to see that we get to the excellence and also provide the right kind of result that technology could actually do in Nigeria. And my team, we are just so excited about what technology could do. And we're also very, very excited about what Nigeria as a nation can actually produce with our technological systems. So I just basically urge every single sector that possibly find themselves within the technological space that they should just maintain that level of consistency. They should become even more intentional. They should put in more efforts and energy to see that all their ideas and their strategies definitely come to life. And this is something that we are very, very committed to doing. And this is something that I'm also urging every single young person to also do, especially for those that are basically getting into this industry. And I'm very confident of what we can actually do in Nigeria and also what Nigeria can definitely do for us. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Light. Thank you so much, Mr. Light, for joining us on the conversation today. And you've given us so much impact, and then we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. We'll be going on a short break, and then when we come back, Midday Discourse continues. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global TV. I am Samuel Odi. Technology has become an integral part of modern society, profoundly shaping the way we live, work, and interact. This research article delivers into multifaceted impact of technology, exploring its influence on communication, economy, education, healthcare, and social dynamics. Drawing on a diverse range of sources, we analyze both the positive and negative effects of technology to gain a comprehensive understanding of its role in shaping our world today. In recent decades, technology has witnessed exceptional growth, bringing about transformative change in various aspects of human life, from the rising of internet and smartphones to artificial intelligence and biotechnology. The rapid evolution of technology has both empowered and challenged society. This research article aims to shedding light on profound impacts of technology and implementation for the future. So, technology has come a very long way from the decades, from angles where we go to phone booths to make calls to now having phones on our hands, smartphones on our hands to make phone calls directly to anybody around the world. So it has been a revolution so far that technology has brought upon this generation and generations to come. So the rapid growth of technology has enhanced a few aspects of the human life. For one, communication revolution. The advent of technology has revolutionized communication, transcending geographical barriers and facilities, to global connectivity. Social media platforms, messaging apps, and video conferencing tools have transformed the way we interact and share information. This section explores how technology has facilitated and dissemination of knowledge, empowered social movements, and affected interpersonal relationships. Back in the day, if you want to communicate to a brother or a sister who lives in a neighboring state or in a neighboring community, you have to write mail or send a letter. Now, technology has shaped and helped communication revolve, that most of the things that we do now is just at the tip of our fingers. You can be here in Nigeria and send and just press a button. You're already in the US talking to a family member or a friend who is there. So now we are moving on to the next, which is technological-driven economy. Technology has redefined economic landscape, creating new industries, disputing traditional markets, and transforming the nature of work. The rise of automation, robotics, and AI has implications for job marketers and income distribution.